Hey guys. Welcome back to Break Stand Garage. It's Tuesday, which I promised you guys a video. So hopefully I get this edited and posted by the end of the day today. It's not like I'm any master editor or anything. So it should be pretty quick. But today there's two things we're gonna do. We're gonna try to find a nice, quiet, dry spot in Mexico to do the quarter-mile rip in the auto, and comparing it against the manual side by side should be pretty good. But also another thing I want to look at real quick is a transmission leak. It leaks not like a quart overnight, but it probably leaks like, I don't know how many ounces, like an eighth of a quart maybe. I don't even know. It leaks a little bit overnight. It made it dripped on this cardboard and ran down the sides. Didn't make like a big puddle under it. The cardboard pretty much soaked it all up, but it's leaking. It looks like it's leaking at the front pump cover, the O-ring that goes around. I didn't replace it. It looked mint. I didn't have one. I was in a hurry. Story of my life. So I might have to pull the trans out of this, but I have a UV dye kit. So I'm gonna go take the UV dye, dump it in the transmission, let it run a little bit just to get things mixed around and stuff. And then I'll shut it off and let it sit for a few minutes while I jack it up. I'll get under it with the black light and my little yellow glasses. And then I'll turn the camera back on and we'll take a leak. We'll take a look. We'll take a look around, see where it's leaking. I think it's leaking out of that front pump cover. Could be leaking somewhere else and just running to the front of the transmission, but we'll see in a second. All right, you're supposed to put one bottle of these in, but I used a half bottle. Here's the little fancy light. All right, time to get under this thing. Let's see what we see. I'll have to flip our camera around a minute. So I don't know if this ain't come through at all. It looks like it's leaking, there you go, all around the pan on the front, and possibly around those bolts too. It's hard to see. There's a little bit around that one. There's some around these bottom ones. And I think it's around. So I gotta figure out where that's coming from. I mean, I figured it out, but I don't know if I'm supposed to seal those bolts before I thread them in. These, I don't know. I didn't use any gasket sealer or anything. Maybe I should have. But I know those are torqued, so check it out. So guys, after I got under there, it looks just like the fluid is leaking around the front pump cover bolts. I didn't realize, because there's some corrosion and stuff around them. I didn't notice that they had rubber O-rings recessed into the back, like the underside of the head of those bolts for the pump face. That's where it's leaking fluid, it looks like. The trans, unfortunately, is going to have to come out, because I just think it's way more work to move the engine forward and all that, and I just don't have enough room to get those bolts out. But it's not the end of the world. The transmission's still good and healthy. It's holding up. The engine's running good. There's no smoking or anything, and I've been ripping all evening on like 14-pound tune. But we'll do a little side-by-side comparison right here of the manual versus auto. remember, this was a complete side-by-side comparison. Other than the temperature was 17 degrees cooler out today than when I had the manual transmission last fall. Now it's 40 degrees. It was 57 out there. I did a short little burnout on both videos. If I remember right, the manual did it was an 8.1 or something, 8th mile, and it ran a 12.1 at 128 miles an hour, if I remember. And then today the car ran into like it was like a 797 8th mile, colder day, same tires, but after I already beat the crap out of them with autocross all last year. So same tires, just worn, 17 degrees cooler. I had my buddy with me, if you didn't notice. He's like, I think a little over 200 pounds. So that's gonna slow me down a little bit. I ran 1197, 1193 maybe. It was 1190 something at 124 miles an hour. Well, that's totally expected. I mean, I am 0.2 faster with an extra 200 pounds in the car on a cooler day, and I have an automatic transmission, so that has some extra losses that a manual usually won't have. I mean, manual has one, but the auto with the fluid and the torque converter and all that, it takes a little bit more horsepower to drive that. So because there's more losses in the auto and I have a little bit more weight in the car, I ran 4 miles an hour slower. Granted, I still ran a little faster in the 0 to 60, in the 60 foot. The 8th mile was about a 1/10 faster, and the quarter mile was 2/10 faster. This was same boost. I turned it up to 14 pounds of boost. So the engine was outputting about the same. So the fact that this ran 2/10 faster while going 4 miles an hour slowing, having extra weight, it's colder out and these tires are just shot, we did pretty good. So please, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe, and we'll see this thing ripping on the track with the new trans in it this summer. And I hope you guys stick around and check it out. See you next time.